Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this week's little series where I show you the geckos I got. So first part was the video 2 days ago where I set up bins and enclosures. This part I'm going to be showing you my geckos, unboxing them. At the end I'm going to have a little story time of the hassle it was to get these animals, at no fault of anyone's except FedEx's. So if you want to hear that, stay tuned to the end. If not, you'll see all of the animals I got right away. And if you took a guess at what I got in the last video, I guess you will see if you are correct. Okay, so I got one of the boxes. It was a wild ride to get this to me. It got lost. The amazing guy at FedEx Hub found the package, thank goodness. Everyone's okay. I already opened it because I needed to make sure. I'm gonna have to drive back to the FedEx Hub to get my second package, but I thought we could get these guys into their home because I didn't want to just sit around waiting and not have them in there. So I drove all the way back home and then I'll go back and get the other one. But let's get these guys out. So these geckos are from Tesla's Geckos. This first little guy, he's a nice extreme harlequin here. They're actually bigger than I thought they were going to be. I had to wait quite a few months for these guys to be shipped, but here is the first guy. We'll get him in his enclosure. Oh, I don't know who to put where. Let me get everyone out and then I'll decide. The next one I have here is a gargoyle gecko. So cute. Looks very similar to a Alaric. I don't know if any of these are boys or girls yet. But literally so cute. Are you kidding me? And the last child I have here is a lily white. Another lily white, I know. Beautiful, beautiful little gecky. Okay, so looking at them, I think my normal one is the biggest, so I'll put him, I don't know, in this one. And then I'll do this. These obviously aren't going to stay here because the cats would not leave the geckos alone, but I'm going to put them in and then I'm going to go take them to the shelf that I'm going to keep them at. Okay. Full sploot right now. Very not interested in coming out. This gecko is extremely calm. Get you in there. I'm gonna keep the lineage lid on there just so we make sure. This guy. Oh. You are stuck to all the paper towels. Let go. Excuse me. There we go. He's beautiful. Or she. They're beautiful. And then last, but certainly not least, we have a little gargoyle that is very intent on coming out. Nympho? Go be somewhere else, please. Okay, so right here. Oh my gosh, she's like, let me out right now. Okay, geez, I'm letting you out right now. You wanted to get out so bad. You're not very interested in getting out. Come on. There we go. Oh my gosh, they get so stuck to the paper towel. There you go. There you go, little child. Oh my gosh, here's a better look. So here's the lily white. Beautiful, beautiful dark white. There is the normal. I don't know if it's an extreme harlequin or a tricolor, honestly. Since it's been so long, it looked way different when I first bought them. And this little guy looks like they may have some orange develop on them. For some reason his foot is stuck to his abdomen, so I might need to help him if he can't figure that out. But I'm going to give it a good misting, move them to their permanent location, well, permanent, and give them a little dish of food. So I hope you enjoyed meeting my new children. I do have names picked out. I just don't know who's going to be who. So we'll see. And this is no surprise, but I got the other gecko. This one is much bigger. She is almost an adult. She's about 32 grams. And I think she fires up with some beautiful white tones. So let's get her out and put her in here. Come here, little lady. Here she is in all her beautiful glory. What a nice, beautiful little lady. You wanna go in there? I made this house for you. Feel free. Feel free to go in there. What a beautiful girl. Okay, so now that you saw my geckos, they're pretty beautiful, aren't they? I want to tell you the hassle it was to get these. So first off, I had to wait quite a few months to get them just because of weather, and I know that's not anyone's fault, so that's not really part of this, but it does add to the anticipation of getting these beautiful animals. So they both get shipped. They came in 2 boxes like you saw, so they both got shipped last night to arrive this morning. I've never had an issue with FedEx. I get there at 10 a.m. at the hub, which is an hour away, keep in mind, and they're there, they're ready. So I get there this morning. The guy's like, oh, are they live animals? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, oh, because we haven't got our shipment yet. And I'm like, okay, so when are we gonna get it? So he looks at my tracking numbers. The one is at a different facility nearby being sorted, so good news there. The other one is in Indianapolis still. What? It cannot stay in Indianapolis. I need it to be here, and I'm on the Pacific Northwest, so that's a really far away. So I'm staying calm. I know it's not this poor guy's fault, and shout out to him because he had some of the best customer service I have ever seen in my entire life. Excuse me. This isn't a free-for-all, eat whatever you want. So he's like, I'm gonna make some calls, go ahead and go sit in your car, and I will come out and get you when the truck arrives. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. He said it'd probably be 5 or 10 minutes for this freight truck to arrive with the priority packages. I'm like, cool. So I go sit in the truck. There's another guy that walked out with me that was waiting for a similar situation, I guess. So the guy comes out and gets him, and I just assume he's getting both of us, so I follow him in, and he gives the other guy's package, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm still working on yours. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it wasn't on the freight like it was supposed to. But don't worry, I called everyone. He called everyone. I didn't call anyone. He called everyone to make sure they know that there is a live animal lost somewhere at the facility, and we need to track it down. So he's like, just don't worry, go out there. I'm going to do what I can. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I go out and sit in my car again, watch some YouTube, watch some Sims, relax. About 30 minutes later, he comes out and get me. So this is about 10 a.m. at this point, which I arrived at 9, left my house at 8. He comes and gets me, and he's like, okay, we located your one box. It's here. He gives it to me. I open it. Those 3 are all perfectly healthy. So I'm like, thank you so much. He says that the second shipment from Indianapolis, good news, will be here today, but it won't be for 4 hours. And at this point, I've been gone 2 hours from my house, expecting to be home already by now. And I have 3 juvenile geckos, so it's not like I can just hang out where I was. I had to go home. So I drove all the way back home, get these babies in their enclosures, and wait, because he said he would call. For some reason, FedEx online was not updating. I don't know why, but it wasn't updating, so I couldn't see when it had actually arrived. About 1 o'clock, sorry, my arm was tired. About 1 o'clock, I saw that the shipping at least said it was in Portland now, so I was like, okay, cool. I tried calling the hub. Apparently you can't do that. So I call customer service, the 1-800 number for FedEx. I get a hold of this guy, and he is honestly the least helpful person I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, first I asked for the number for the hub. He gives me the number I just called to reach him. I'm like, sir? He's like, well, that's the only number I see. And then I'm like, okay, well, am I not able to get to the hub? He's like, well, actually, that hub that you're telling me, I don't even see that that's a real hub, so I don't think it's real. I'm like, dude, I was just there. I picked up every animal ever from there. And he's like, well, what I suggest is just keep waiting because it should be delivered by the end of the day. I'm like, do you not realize it's not being delivered to my house? It's being delivered to a hub, which is an hour away. I need to make sure I can get to this animal to make sure it's okay. It's already been well over 24 hours since it's been shipped at this point because it left from the East Coast. And he's like, I understand. And then he's like, can you please stay on the line after and give me a good review? I'm like, oh my God. So I hang up. I just start driving to the facility because at least that guy was very helpful at the facility. I just start driving there because worst case scenario, what, we'll have to wait another hour. It's whatever. I just want to make sure that my other gecko is safe and sound. On the way there, I'm like 5 minutes away from the facility. The guy calls and says, the gecko arrived. I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. I still don't know if she's okay, of course, because I haven't opened the box, but at least she got tracked down. I don't know how they lost both of them in the same day. That was crazy to me. But anyways, so I get there. That guy is actually going home, so this lady helps me, and she gives me the gecko. She's like, don't worry, I remember you from earlier. She gives me the gecko, lets me open it right away while she's processing, like, me checking it out. She's fine, beautiful, like you saw, of course. And I finally get back home at 3 p.m., starting this day at 8 a.m., almost a full work day, but at least all the babies are okay. So that was a crazy wild ride trying to get these. I was freaked out for most of the day, trying to make sure that my children were okay. Like, oh my God, I'm texting both of the 2 different breeders I got these animals from, being like, have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything. They're like, where's the gecko? I'm like, I don't know. But in the end, all the animals are okay. I feel a lot better. Everyone's safe in their little bins right now. They're all more beautiful than I ever could have imagined. I'm so happy with them. I can't wait to see what they grow up into. I can't wait to announce my breeding project and pairing lineup, which you may be able to guess, or maybe not. But stay tuned for that. I do have to wait for the new girl to get a little bigger, but yeah. And I will be announcing their names in a Meet All My Pets video, which I do plan on doing eventually, once I can get my house a little more put together. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed meeting my geckos. Please like, subscribe, share if you liked this. Comment if you have anything to say, or if you have name suggestions. I have 3 of the names for sure picked out, but you never know, I may change it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.